Brace yourself. The cats are coming. Again. Hello? Oh. You don't let your cats go on cat book? Jeffrey Voth is the first Jeff again. Nice. What's up, everybody? Dan's Garage is here. Rob is here. Robobert is here. Class Rockin' is here. Martin Baumforth. Driveway of Misfits. Robbie Stingle. Larry Pollard. Dan Tupper. Alan's here. Did I say Chris Nealis? I think I did. I don't know. Squirrelitis. Well, Heidi ho there, neighbor. Dan Orcutt's here. McLovin is here. Guten Noggin. Jeff Militich, Plymouth on Plywood. Tavo is early. Wow. Todd's here. Calvin. Brownie's here. Bunch of cats. Mostly Mopar in the house. Barn founded, clocking in. Robobert says the Ram Charger in today's video is so sweet. I know. Squirrelitis. I just got back from Ren Fair. Will B is here. Ange Devil is here. Nona J. David Biznett needs the book. I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it. I'm like 45.5% done. It's a night's libation and delicious Sunkissed. Everybody said Sunkissed. It's hilarious. It is, in fact, a Coca-Cola. So, unexpectedly, you got any more of that Mopar octane reducer? Yeah. Oh, look at those ears. Some friends do the Ren Fair every year. And they had a big group planned, and they all didn't show up. So we got a spot. So we went to Ren Fair, which it was fun, but I hate driving to the city. Robert, what refrigerant did they charge the AC in that Ram Charger with? I believe it was converted to 134. I don't know. Tom will show up and we'll ask him. But I think so. I think it was converted. I think the guy said it was converted in Tom's video, but I don't actually remember. The odds of being attacked by a cat with a tank are low, but never zero. Huzzah for the paper tipper! Huzzah! But what was the other thing? Great tipper. What were they saying? Gracious tipper! Huzzah! What's good in the hood? I don't know. Good stuff, I guess. Dust Devil's in the house. What's up? Brownie spent today getting his nasal iron supplement in. Very nice. Yeah, that Ram Charger is fairly cream puffy. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. Apparently no one can pronounce Chris Nealis correctly, but I did it. Edward DiCarlo is here. How's it going? Rob Fitch, Chris Greenhill, Timothy Halcombe, who is a member. How's it going? Believe in Yourself is here. Moondog is actually out working on a 79 Cherokee for once. Yes. DTLA Kings fan is here. Chevrolet 402 is here. So many people are here. Dan IT guy is here. Tank Kitty. Yeah. Moondog's been binging DDG video productions for inspiration. Why is there never a Ren Fair group of lepers or typhus sufferers? How do you know there aren't? I mean, I didn't see any, but anyway. Fox Can Fix It says, everyone hit the like button or he'll never work on the Belva Diesel again. There's nothing wrong with Perky. That's why I haven't done anything with it. Martin Baumforth, a certain owner of a Plodge Damp, says he will whoop me at no name. I don't know who that is. Oh, Tanner? Did he call me out or something? I don't know. But I assume that's who we're talking about. I'd like to see him try. Oh no! Danny Boyd attempted a screen replacement in my Android, failed. New phone, different number, new volume, power button, ribbon, cable on the way. Oof. It's a problem. I used to do screen replacements and stuff, and I just don't now. Yes, Robert, we do have R12 sitting around, and we have a guy with the equipment to do it. But I think that one was already converted. What's good under the hood? Not much. Ren and Stimpy Fair. Nice. Never really watched that one. Tavo, a truck just pulled up to load a crate of Hemi 6s. And they're not even coming to my house. Cop Car Steve went to British Columbia's second biggest car show today, and somebody recognized him as Cop Car Steve. Nice. Chris Sather, Wisconsin in the house. What's up? Have you ever... I saw a fire show last night. What do they say? If you want to see people fight fire with fire while on fire, I think is what it was. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Dwight Waldvogel, remember the Thermoquad was developed as a replacement for the Quadribog. Do you know how many commenters I told that today? A lot. Kerosene Cucumbers is here. What's up? Angela Racino loved the Ram Charger video and carb rebuild. Thank you. I don't actually know who found it, Tom or Gary, but Gary bought it. Yes. The theme of today's video was orange. No. Jeff Hutchins' dad bought a new 75 W100 four-wheel drive short wheelbase 440 with AC. The belts always squeaked no matter what. Take that, people in the comments complaining about me complaining about squealing AC belts as if it's not at all a problem with these trucks and it's just me and I'm an idiot. Tank Girl was a horrible movie. Still is. Calvin Hatch, I learned you can adapt Magnum heads to the 360 Mopar for better flow. Did you email me about this or message me about this or comment about this? Yeah, comment, I think. Yes, you can. It takes a bit of work, and it's probably not worth the trouble. You have to change to oil through push rods and get custom length push rods and lifters that can oil through the push rods, which aren't hard to find today. I'm just saying, like, if you're starting with the stock engine, your lifters aren't going to do that. Then you need a different intake manifold, and they mount things weird, and I just don't really care to do that myself. It's been done, you can, but your 360 LA heads have plenty of potential. If you want to build a great 360 LA, I've done it on the channel. In fact, I'm pretty sure if you're the commenter, I think you are, you commented on a video about building an LA 360. And that one turned out pretty good. But anyway, high compression pistons, flat tops with valve reliefs and a good cam and a port job and some valve springs. And your LA 360 is going to be just fine. Sam, his dad is here. Sam, his dad had like 20 comments on today's video, I think. Most of them about how the Thermoquad is crap. And I don't disagree. I'm just, for the same reason the V-Code Sports Fury still has 6 barrels, the Ram Charger still has Thermoquad. Robert, why did Chrysler switch to the Thermoquad in the first place? They thought it was a good idea. Initially, it was only used for high performance. Nuh-uh. High performance applications, and then it was used for like everything. It seemed like a good idea. I don't know. I don't actually know. Driveway Misfits. What happened to that Rampage that was in the forklift video? That is Evan's Rampage. It is sometimes his daily driver. although he's been driving a Sebring lately. And it's awesome. He actually ended up with the one I had he wanted a few parts swapped off of it for his. His is way better. So I actually when he first got it, what did we do? Mess with the throttle. I think the fan maybe wasn't working, or what was it? I kind of tuned on it a little bit, fixed the vacuum advance connection. The vacuum, this is computerized timing, but there's a vacuum line that goes to the computer, and that was all wrong. We fixed a bunch of little things, and I meant to make a video, and then it was just kind of just need to do this real quick so we can get home. So it didn't happen. But anyway, Tanner isn't sure I'm going to show up. Wow. What a coward. Tavo's back. That was fast. Fox Can Fix It thought the only difference in the Prospector versus the Pioneer trim was belt squeal. Bananas make you dream more vividly. Tanner's been eating a lot of bananas. I have vivid dreams all the time. Yes, I know about the deodorant belt hack. People keep telling me about dirty hacks, and I'm like, that's not a fix. That's a dirty hack. It might work for a bit. I'm not going to recommend to a customer that they put deodorant on their belts all the time, or soap, or belt dressing, or whatever else people say. It's not, we're not doing that. Robobert. Also, the Rube Goldberg quote in today's video belongs on a t-shirt. Excuse me. Kevin Lee, have you seen the 440 Newport Resurrection on a low buck garage? No. Great combination of passable fabrication and scrap scrounging. Well, that's cool. I've heard of low buck garage, but no, I have not seen that. Rust beaters, not thermoquad specific, but why do people like to tighten down the fasteners on a carburetor like they're lug nuts on a semi? It's a problem. Boy. Todd says fires around here are still burning. It's unfortunate. Hi-Fi Tube. What's your least favorite Mopar that might surprise us? I mean, I don't really like any K car, and I don't think that's surprising. I don't know. Oh, kibbies. Watch out for the speed bumps. I don't know. I have no idea. K-Car is in Chrysler. Yes, K-Car is in Chrysler. Not the Japanese things. Ice-T is a mutant kangaroo. My favorite non-Mopar. I don't actually know that either. I liked my Cobra replica quite a bit. Favorite non-Mopar. I have received a text message. It's from Uncle Tony, and it says this. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, come on. They have computers. You don't like K-cars. They have computers. Boosted Perky coming soon enough. Yeah, I don't know. Jack Chapman digs the forklift. Me too. Perkins diesel to LP conversion. No, I'm going to run that thing on used oil. The goal is to operate that car for free. Life hack. But I haven't actually started working on the filter setup or anything. Because I have other things to do. What is my favorite non-Mopar car? I don't know. Don H. loved my Slant 6 Volare. They're kind of cool. Believe in yourself. The #1 commenter. The Creamsicle Ram Charger. Yes, they named it Creamsicle. Chris Sather just picked up a 65 Barracuda, 273 4-speed out of Texas. Bone dry. Getting a 413 in gasser treatment. Awesome. I actually just got a straight axle. Well, okay, it's still attached to a truck, but it won't be forever. I always intended for the Barracuda to have a straight axle. I built it with a stock suspension to get it done quickly, and also just because, why not? But the other reason was I have a friend locally who has a straight axle gasser Barracuda. So it wasn't an original idea. But anyway, he's selling that, so I think I can have one now. I don't know when or if I'll ever actually do that. I have other things in mind, but I have an axle now. That's the important thing to know. Robert Lee, non-Mopar Jensen with a 440. Cool, I'm not going to say it's my favorite, though. SE's 85W150 has a Quadra junk. Yes. I don't believe they're junk. I've had good Quadrajet experiences. I've had not so good Quadrajet experiences. I would say I've had better luck with the Quadrajet than the Thermoquad. Like, probably by a lot, actually. Nodak Speed Shop is here. I watched your latest video on the 340 disassembly today. It's not my latest video. That was a month ago. I just got that engine back from the machine shop a week ago. Yes, I was less than impressed with the cast crank because that engine was supposed to have a forged crank. Robbie Stingle is looking for a 71 340 cast iron intake manifold. 3512100 is the number. I'm pretty sure Tom has one, although whether he'd actually want to dig it out and sell it to you, I don't know. The only one I have is the original for Dale's Demon, and it's going back on there very soon, so not available. But thank you for the super chat. If anyone does have a 340 manifold, feel free to let Robbie know. Somebody said, Will B says, favorite non-Mopar Fox body Mustangs and Caprice. I do like Fox bodies. There's no denying that. That 79 Capri I did a video on could be available. Anyway, Kevin Lee said, isn't the Grumman LLV your favorite non-Mopar vehicle? Stop it. Mark is here. Jamie, question. Butter's got a transplant of 4 headlights to 2. Yes. Now no high beams. Well, they worked before. I wired the damn thing. I'm pretty sure it all worked. Yeah, because it just has the extra high beam connectors hanging out in there. It's the wires that are on the headlights. The 2 headlights you have now are wired with the 2 low-high connectors. So that has nothing to do with your issue. You probably have a bad dimmer switch on the floor. That's always what happens. Rob Allen, they copied Quadrajet. For the Thermoquad, they built the Thermoquad, designed the Thermoquad to replace the Quadrajet, to fix everything wrong with the Quadrajet. 2 issues. Quadrajet, this is just an Uncle Tony video. Quadrajet has the tiny fuel reservoir in the middle, so Thermoquad has 2 big ones on the outside to solve, and then it's also plastic. So it solves the tiny fuel reservoir issue and the boiling fuel issue. But it is a spread bore. It was originally a performance-oriented carburetor that was designed to swap right in place of a Quadrajet. Oh, that's funny. Dan IT guy. Always wanted to swap the Turbo 2 and front suspension out of my Daytona Shelby into the back end of a K-Wagon. I like where your head's at. 273 in a K car would be tits. Well, I guess. I just can't see doing all that work. As I've explained many times before, because I own A-bodies, I don't need to do wacky stuff like that. So, yeah. LLV with a 318? No, same answer. Mark, it's not the 340 manifold you have. You have the earlier square bore one. He's looking for the spread bore. The Thermoquad manifold. That's the 71. Change for 71. They went to spread bore to mount the Thermoquad, and then it has an idle solenoid as well. Michael Hayden. Jamie, back in the day, I had a Dodge panel truck with a big block 318. That's not a thing. You're talking about the Poly engine, 318 Poly. The only one I ever saw. Okay. I've seen one with a 383 in it, but it didn't belong there. K car is even smaller and lighter than an A body. Yeah, not by enough to justify having to own a K car. Todd Denio, Jamie, what carb was originally on a 72 340 Charger Rally? 72 340 would be a thermoquad. Excuse me. Tavo has had one thermoquad. Stuff was very wrong with it. I got 11 miles a gallon highway. Yikes. D1 Menace actually saw a PT Cruiser for sale today. It will be for sale for a long time. Fort Erie Rocks wants to know what's going on with the wheelie banana. Right now, absolutely nothing. I am planning to pull the engine out soon. And then we're going to build the subframe for it. Thermoquad or Holly? Yeah, it's a tough call. Tough call. What did I say at the beginning of my video today? Nipples? What? No, I said how many open nipples? How many open vacuum nipples should we have? Is what I said. Thermoquad or Holly 1920? Thermoquad all day. Yeah, they can kind of work well. They just always have problems. Twin turbo 2 engine K Woody wagon. Sam wants to know my opinion on Orange versus Marshall. Here's a controversial opinion. I don't like either of them. I do not like Marshall tone. I really don't like orange tone either. I'm not a British invasion guy, I guess. I like Fenders, and I really like these cheapy silver tones, which are actually Dan Electros. And there are lots and lots of other tube amps that I like, but those are my favorites. Robert thinks of easy bake ovens when he sees an LLV. B-Bro's here. How's it going, B-Bro? Rust beaters. My experience with any brand of carburetor depends entirely on who was the previous person that worked on it. Fox can fix it. Since you're into Mopar A-bodies, what about 68 to 72 Chevelle GM A-body? They're cool, I like 70 a lot. But actually the Chevelle that I'm into is the earlier one, the one that looks like a Charger. Or more, I should say, a Charger looks like it. I think of Jamie every time I see an LLV. It's not okay. 70 Hemi B. You missed a great showing at Mopar Fest. A little over 1,400 cars on the field. Gave away a 60 Dart convertible to a pre-registered entrant. Cool. 58 Impala. That's interesting. Those are not on my favorite list, but they are interesting. A guy once paid me to go inspect one for him. Or did he pay me? I think he paid me. He was supposed to. Ford Excursion 7.3. Actually, that's a good rig right there. I used to service one for a guy. It was all original, meticulously maintained. It had 300 and... Well, no, wait. Maybe it only had 295,000. He changed the oil in that Excursion every 5,000 miles. He had a place out here at the beach and a place in Montana. And he was back and forth all the time. So there was a time where I changed the oil in that rig for him, which, diesel oil change, not cheap. And this was 10 years ago. I changed the oil for him. He drove over there, did something, boat trip or something, drove back, and I changed it again 2.5 weeks later. Yeah. Anyway, just like clockwork, 5,000 miles. Guarantee you that rig is still going. I learned a very interesting lesson on the turbos on those rigs. They have that air door thing, and it was stuck shut on that one. It ended up, I don't remember if it got carboned up or if it just came unhooked, but anyway. Bobby Z, Magnum question, got a 95.59. Does the flex weight have the balance weight of 95? Will it fit an A999? I don't know. I don't have conclusive evidence or information on which year they changed that, but I think it's like 1997. Could be wrong. Don't know. I know the late flex plate has the weight on it, and they went to the square pattern. Flex plate. It's somewhere like 96, 97. So I don't think you're 95. I believe you're... Okay, yeah, this says 96 to 02. So I'm pretty sure you're 95. That weight is still on the converter. Now, you can switch to the later flex plate. It doesn't matter. Magnum 5.9 is Magnum 5.9 as far as the weight is concerned. So you can just get that flex plate, which is on Parts Geek for $60. What brand is that? Well, I don't know. $60, $80. You can just get the weighted one. Pretty sure 95, the weight's still on the converter though. K-Car would be fun with a big block. Anything's fun with a big block. AMC, I mean, there are cool AMCs, but Suzuki Cappuccino would be the funniest car on DDG. Yeah. Dulcich knows thermoquads. I know thermoquads. But yes, Dulcich knows a lot of stuff. I mean, we're certainly, I think many of us Mopar guys are standing on Dulcich's shoulders to a certain degree. Quadrajet. Clean and reassemble. 60% of the time, it works every time. I had a 1967 Buick Electra 225. It was a great car. 430 engine. Just happy. Fantastic cruiser. It was in like almost mint shape. Just a little body damage. And the headliner was gone. And it was musty. One of those cars I'll never forget the smell of. Anyway, I had an issue with that one. It was flooding out, and I took the needle out, and I cleaned it, and I put it back in, and it was flooding out. And I took the needle out, and I cleaned it, and I put it back in, and it was flooding out. And I walked to the parts store, I got a carb kit, I replaced the needle and seat, and that fixed it. I inspected that thing. I scrutinized it. I could not see a single thing wrong with it. But it just... gas everywhere. Anyway, that's actually like the only problem I've ever had with a Quadrajet, I think. Quadrajunk is a better carb than the Turdo Quad. Sam really hates Turdo Quads. Lots of people in the comments do. I don't like them because they are complicated compared to a regular Carter, and they have issues. But they can work very well, especially the early ones that don't have the main well thing. I mean, Dale won many a race with the original thermoquad bolted in place on my Demon. The damn thing ran high 11s in 1975 with the original thermoquad. So that's all I'm saying. Like, I think the blanket hate is stupid. I think the blanket hate for a Quadrajet is stupid. I think blanket hate for anything is stupid. I have my reasons for strongly disliking a Holly 1920, but I also understand and appreciate that they work just fine for some people and they know how to make the stupid idle circuit work. Fine. Good for you. Yeah. I hate them, but that doesn't mean they're not still valid. Do we understand the difference here? Thermoquad annoys me. It's irritating. It's hard to work on. It's complicated and it always has problems, but it can work quite well. It's not going to be my choice. Sam hasn't seen a Rampage on the road in 20 years. Well, I have, but I was driving it. So there you go. D1 Menace asked, how's Perky? You might have heard... you might have heard me talking about this. I don't know, but Perky's fine. Nothing wrong with it. Dan IT guy. 5-minute fixes that work for exactly 5 minutes. Edward DiCarlo noticed the guitars in the back. Do you play and make music in your spare time? I used to, but I don't have any spare time anymore. I hang out in here every Wednesday and work on writing my book, and I do occasionally pick up a bass or a guitar or whatever, but yeah. Basically, I'm sitting in a complete recording studio that I never use. I did produce an album for my band about a year ago. Was it a year ago? Has it been a year? God, I hope not. Haven't finished mixing it yet. Bobby Z says summer quads were good carbs. They flowed more air than the AFBs and AVSs. Yes, they did. Trouble today is they're all 40 years old. Aluminum corrodes, plastic bowls crack and warp and leak. Yes, exactly. Wow. Plymouth on Plywood burned more than 20 pounds of 1/8-inch 7018 rod in 99-degree heat today. He's in Arkansas, I think. Yeah. Brutal. Is it okay to put stop leak in AC, though? I don't know. Ask an AC guy. Yeah. 361 big blocks question mark, says Dan IT guy. Yeah, what about him? I built one on the channel a while back. Rob Allen, what do you think about the new 68.9 charger bodies for $45,000? What are we talking about? Are we talking about the fiberglass things? Are we talking about what are we talking about? Oh, the muscle car place says you can buy a brand new Dodge Charger body. Okay. From whom? I'm not watching this video with a stupid AI thumbnail to find out. If there are complete bodies available. Dynacorn was making whole Challengers. Mustang bodies have been available for a long time. There was talk of a Charger body, an all-steel Charger body, but I don't think it ever actually existed. AMD makes almost everything you would need to do it, but they do not offer them assembled. That's kind of a different thing. Todd Denial. Jamie, an engine that ran perfectly when it got parked for 7 years had what sounded like a rod knocking when it was revived, but after about 5 seconds it went away and it's running smooth and quiet. Why? Oil. Rooster has apparently been a member for 24 months, but his comment thingy says 22 months. I don't know, dude. Anyway, apparently YouTube can't count 24 months of therapy payments. And thank you. Someone sent me $5 Canadian. Abe's Kia. Thank you. My WCFB manifold heat choke apparatus is missing on my 331. Should I chase finding an original or go with electric conversion? 6 volt. I don't know about an electric choke on 6 volt. I mean, maybe the other ones work and they just heat up slower. I truly don't know. I don't think finding an original would be the hardest thing in the world. I don't have one, though. My inclination would be electric. I just don't know how that would work on 6 volts. I also don't know why you're still running 6 volts. Oh, people do it, but I've never had luck with it. Yeah, I really don't know. I would try to find the stock stuff myself, but perhaps there is a kit for 6 volt available and I've just never seen it because, again, I'm just always going to 12. This is the way. Dust Devil says the 70 Super B is just a big old dart. Well, I guess. Dave Atman said, hey, Jamie, thanks for the stickers. I put one on my truck. Awesome, thanks. I'm way back in the comments. How'd this even happen? Why are YouTubers making stupid AI thumbnails these days? Because they lack creativity and artistic talent. Excuse me. And they think it will make them look more professional and popular and like the big guys. To me, it just makes them look like poop. I've had multiple people approach me about making thumbnails for my channel, and they all just were going to put stuff through AI, and that was apparently worth money. Dan Rose, Jamie, would you do a video on a difference between a Holley 6820 and a 2280? I saw you had a comment about this, right? Here's the thing. I don't know dick about either of those carburetors. I know nothing. I don't know what they are. I could guess. Like I'm assuming they're different two-barrel Holleys from the 80s or something, but I don't know anything about them. No, I will probably not make a video about that. I apologize, but it's just well beyond my depth. AI can kiss my AI. You and me both, pal. I've said my piece on that. Light bulb fun. Why stop at 12 volts? Most big things are 24 volts because most small things are 12 volts. It's like a standard, you know? Everything that you could buy at a regular like parts store, you know, every accessory, every doodad, every jump starter is for 12 volts. So that's kind of what you want. Todd Denayo saw an ad today for a fully assembled 689 charger. Rob Rocher says US Car Tool was offering one using AMD parts. New unibody, US Car Tool. No, wait, what? Why is the picture their subframe connectors? But then the thing is brand new unibody, $44,000. Made from all new parts. 100% of the parts are brand new, reproduced by AMD. Jig assembled by US Car Tool. MSRP is $40K. $20K deposit required at time of order. Options include US Car Tool chassis stiffening, panel gaps. Make all panel gaps perfect. Requires cutting, forming every panel. Oh, God. Coil over front and rear suspensions. All the stupid ones that you shouldn't use. Disc brakes, sway bars, steering columns, custom interiors. They'll just build you a whole car. Full completion service. Drive away a brand new custom 1968-69 Charger. Body's completed within 45 days of receiving parts from AMD. I would pay to see one of these. I don't want it, but I would pay to see it. Interesting. I would like to know how many of these have actually been built. Oh, why do those cats look so sad? Mike Oxlong is here. How's it going? Your car sucks. Did any more ordered parts show up for the 70 Dart yet? I have everything. I got my fuel tank. It is in the hot seat right now. I don't like spiders and snakes. Where's my acoustic? And that ain't what it takes to love me. Like I want to be loved by you. Danny Boyd picked up a bass the other day and learned to play Take Me to the River. I can't envision how that's played. 6.9 power stroke? That's not a thing. Yes, perky merch needs to happen. Yeah. No, the 7.3 has a valve like that. Todd Denayo had a 69 Electra 225 and it had big old spiders in it. Ugh. Easy to work on. Carter FB AVS. Yep, right at the top of the list. That's why I recommend those for everything. Blanket hate for PT Cruisers. Yeah, well deserved. Yeah, the 6.4 power stroke is a piece of garbage, and the 6.7s... 6.0s and 6.4s should all be melted down and turned into Kias. 6.7s are apparently better. So they say. James Frank. Sup. Sam's dad had a 72 Buick Limited. Interesting. Lumpy's here. How's it going? Fleetwood John also here. Woodward Dream Cruise was packed. Too many a-holes ruining a good event. You know, when you have a massive event that you publicize nationally and try to pack it with a-holes, the a-hole's going to show up. This DDG Live sponsored by Burger King. I know I actually ate dinner before coming on, which is not normal for me. Dalton Carter. When talking to Dynamic... Oh, yeah, I didn't finish answering that question. When talking to Dynamic, I don't know who that is, about my 5.9 Magnum 904 swap, the weighted flex plate will not clear the ring gear on the smaller 904. Interesting. I'm trying to envision if I've ever put those two pieces together, and I don't think I have, and I don't have any 904s here, but anyway, Scoop will be back. All right. Exhaust back pressure valve. Yes, to speed. It's not a VGT. It is not a VGT. Yeah, it's a back pressure valve. It's to promote early, faster engine warm-up. And that is a feature of many exhaust brake kits. Like, for example, the one I installed on a 99 24-valve truck for a guy. When you fired it up, it had some kind of... I think it was just a timer. It would like basically close for the first minute or something, and only at idle, because the little control module had like a throttle sensor reading or something, and you could turn it off. But if you just set it to on or the one mode, whatever. Anyway, yeah, that's what that's for. It's actually for to help the thing warm up faster, which is a good thing because diesel engines are extremely cold-blooded. Todd Denio's favorite car is his honorary Mopar 1967 AMC Marlin. Schrodinger's cat walks into a bar and doesn't. What about an Edsel? That's my impression of an Edsel. They're okay. 59 Impala rocks. I've done some work on one of those. They are less weird than 58s, but still kind of weird. BBD or BBD? Man, those are good ones. Dalton Carter, did you ever get your Barracuda back to the track? So there was a test and tune last week, so I did the same thing I always do. Rush to get the car ready. It's now running fantastic. It's running better than it ever has. Fixed multiple issues. Lots of good stuff. Before that, just a month ago, I went through the carburetors and everything seemed kind of good, but then it was still not good. So it was actually good, like running great. And I'm just about at the point where I think I could just throw this on the trailer and go test it. But the clutch thing, the entire time, the bane of this car's existence since we put it together has been the clutch. Excuse me. It's got an old school Borg and Beck. It is the heaviest clutch pedal I have ever experienced. And that includes the one in the Demon when I got it. It had a Borg and Beck that was just awful. So, this is a Ram clutch. I don't have an over center spring, and that might have helped, but I had messed with the linkage because I wasn't getting full disengagement. So I modified the linkage to get more disengagement. I still don't get full disengagement, and it's even harder to press, and it's flexing my firewall. So I added a firewall brace, and it actually worked perfectly. It no longer moves. It still doesn't fully disengage, and it is so hard. My knee hurts thinking about it. My knee still hurts a week later from screwing with that stupid thing out in the street, just testing it. Like, it's bad. So I'm going to change the clutch to one that hopefully works. I'm going to put a diaphragm in it, which is what I should have done from the start. While we're at it, I got some gears. Some really aggressive gears. Like the most aggressive gears. Like his gear size starts with a 5. And they're on a spool. And it turns out they use the bigger 35 spline Dana 60 axle shaft size. So I had to get axle shafts from Dr. Diff. So now I've got gears, axle shafts, and a clutch. And I'm going to install all that. And then I think we're going to have something. So hopefully I can do that this week. Yes, Dan Electro, Sears and Roebuck. Yep, these are Silvertones. They were sold at Sears. They were made, built by Dan Electro to be sold by Sears. Link your band. Look up Morning Orange on YouTube. We don't have any actual like music up yet. Yeah, I said nipples, but I was talking about vacuum nipples. Coal Duster Dan just sent me $10. Yep, that is a duster if I've ever seen one. And says, Jamie, your wonderful Mopar A-Body and Slant 6 knowledge has been incredibly helpful with helping me get my 71 Duster, so not this one, back on the road. Currently editing a video for that. Awesome. Well, I'm happy to help. And thanks for the super chat. Holly or Edelbrock? Edelbrock all day, unless we're building a race car. Your Car Sucks says, third day I had my license, I pulled a Dukes of Hazzardish jump. Unlike in the show, I did not drive away. Yeah. And Devil had a thermal quad on a 360 that worked fantastic. Yeah, they can. That's what I'm saying. Robert Lee has some wacky four-wheel drive LLV build in mind. I'm never going to do that, ever. No. You go ahead, though. Paul Shea dropped in to say a quick hello. Hollies are finicky to rebuild. The thing that bothers me about Hollies is that they just leak gas. They were like designed to leak gas. And to service them in any way, you need to leak more gas, like a lot more gas. It's just horrible. It's horrible. And the fuel fittings leak gas. The adjusters for the bowls leak gas. The window plugs sometimes leak gas, turns out. At least if your bowls are horribly corroded. The accelerator pump diaphragms leak gas. All the gaskets leak gas. The screw seals leak gas. Everything on... Oh, the cross tube, if you have a single feed. They're god awful. But, a double pumper is great for race car stuff. So that's fine. They have their place. But if we're talking about living with a car or a truck day to day, I'll have an Edelbrock or don't bother. Carter Edelbrock. Either, it doesn't matter. An Edelbrock is a Carter. I'm sure all of you know that. Robbie Stingle did really well with those 340J heads. Guides are good. Seats good. Great shape. Did evaporust. Soak. Clean. Lap the valves. New seals. And Mopar Performance Springs. Awesome. Plymouth on Plywood says, we were talking about your hatred of the 1920 on Slant Daily. Yes, I hate them. And Shane did me a favor at No Name. In fact, some of the gas he gave me is still in the tank of the Barracuda. And so I made a video smashing one with a hammer one day, and I don't regret that, but he said, don't smash any more of those. Send them to me. I will fix them. And so I actually have a few that I've meant to send him. Maybe I gave them to you. Did I give them to you and tell you to send them to Shane? I don't know. Anyway, please do that because I owe him some 1920s. Abe's Kia, yeah. Saw Creamsicle. Much relieved my WCFB was much simpler. They're a little funky compared to the later ones, but not much to them. I fixed the one for my Imperial. I showed in a video before that everything was messed up. There was a link arm missing. There was no way to have an accelerator pump working. It was just goofy. And I took one off of maybe a thermoquad. Or was it a AFB? I can't remember, but anyway. Yeah, I fixed the one on the Imperial, rebuilt it, had it working great. And then the new fuel pump died, predictably. There's a Chinese company that makes complete car bodies for many different old cars. Well, that's news to me. Robbie Stingle is keeping the membership to my channel. Thank you, Robbie. I appreciate that. Jamie, when are you going to get a Bridgeport? There are many occasions when you lament not having a mill. Honestly, probably not going to. It's just another thing. Where would I put it? Lightbulb Fun wants to know my thoughts on the Plymouth Prowler. I think they're stupid and ugly, and I want one. Yeah, it's stupid, ugly, and slow, and I want one. Beard and mullet fires are bad. I've burned part of my beard here twice. Burned this eyebrow about half of the way off. Once I've burned arm hair. That's about it. But yeah, don't set your beard on fire. It's not fun. Never seen a holly fire. But have you seen them leak gas? Because I have. Yes, Tom has listed the cab over. If anyone wants the cab over, it's very much available. It is an awesome truck. I did film a follow-up video. I don't know when we're going to see it. It's very disappointing. It did not go the way I thought it was going to go at all, and I can't put any more time into it. So I have what I have. It might be like a random release at some point. But yeah. Oh, Timothy Holcomb, you're welcome for the rant. I just chucked my holly because it wouldn't stop leaking. Telling you. Moondog says it's way too hot here east of Dallas. Yes, I bet it is. Shadow Tyler's here from South Dakota. How's it going? What are your thoughts on SUs? Cool on a, English whatever. Rust Beaters. Kind of amuses me that the Summit generic 4-barrel is an Autolite 4100. I know! It's hilarious. So you're saying they leak gas? Oh, rope. Yeah. Seems to me you just shouldn't put any gas in a holly. Problem solving. Yes, the seals on the transfer tube. Yes. I almost forgot that one. Wasted Mass. What do you think destroyed the 318LA from engine power? It's a bearing, but I don't know why. It will be interesting to see them tear it down. Yes, I know I said vacuum nipples, but that's not funny, so I prefer my version. Okay. Craig Stevenson says, the stuff you're doing to the garbage can needs to be a video like next Sunday. Okay, here's the thing. It could be. I already have half an hour of footage of the next video, but what I would like to do is all of those things I just said and then get it to a test and tune, because my racing videos, when I'm just racing, garbage. They are garbage. My project videos, when I build the cars, and specifically when I work on that one, good. So I don't want to do more just drag racing videos. I want to do, this is the build, this is what it did. So to do that, I would have to get all that work done this week and then get to the test and tune this Friday. Assuming there is one, I should probably double check. And for some reason, I'm thinking I have something else that I have to do and I won't be able to. And I can't remember what it is for the life of me. But anyway, Dan Orcutt once again has gifted 10 DDG memberships. Thank you, Dan. Anyway, there will be a garbage can video sooner or later. Shadow Tyler, what is your take on a 73 Plymouth Satellite? I like them. I don't even care how many doors they have. Dr. Diff sounds funny, I guess. Is this for my charger? No, I don't need a charger body. 588? No, it's not quite 588. Put a hydraulic clutch assist in it. No. Changing the clutch may help, but if there's a fundamental flaw in geometry, it's not going to be a magic cure. No, you don't understand. It is the spring setup in this clutch. That is the problem. This clutch was installed in a dart. It was removed from that dart because the clutch pedal was very heavy. When they said the clutch pedal was very heavy, I didn't realize that they meant it's the heaviest goddamn clutch on earth. That is the issue. We've already had... Listen to me. This car before had the crappiest, most cobbled together, crookedest, terrible, awful clutch linkage setup. And it worked fine. I put it together this time with a reproduction conversion Z-bar setup from Brewers, because those cars originally have a little baby clutch, and I put in the 10.5 later, A-body style. So there's a special Z-bar that makes that work. My engine mounting is levelish now, but it's a little higher than it should be, and it's not quite right. And so the Z-bar, it was sitting crooked, but it lined up the push rod, so that's how I had it. That's how I raced it at No Name, and it was really bad, and I didn't have full disengagement, it was an ongoing issue. And so that is why I went in, I fixed that. When I fixed that, now my push rod was at an angle like this. So I lengthened the Z-bar arm, and I played around with moving the push rod inward on the fork to try and get full disengagement. Well, at that point, it was fully unpressable, and it's now back to kind of unpressable. When I could, with that change I made, I basically got everything aligned correctly, and it looked kind of good-ish. I said all that to say, with every form of clutch linkage that's been in this thing so far, this clutch was terrible. In a different car, this clutch was terrible. That is the problem. I'm switching to a diaphragm-style clutch. Yes, it is going to be a magic cure. It will actually goddamn work. So there you go. We'll go from there. Is a vacuum boosted clutch a thing? I don't know. Good evening, RoboStyle. How's it going? Dyslexics of the world, untie! And AMCs we call them honorary Mopars. Gary's truck reminds Rooster of an orange creamsicle. Yes, that's why they named it Creamsicle. Dalton Carter. Actually, I had to grind a tab off the motor to get the starter to bolt in on the 904. Starter was hitting the 5.9 Magnum. The 5.9 Magnum or the flex plate, because that is a thing that I have experienced. The big full circle flex plates that you can get, or the ones with the bite taken out of them, the SF rated or whatever. Is that the right? Whatever, you know what I'm talking about. The balanced big flex plates that you can buy. There's one that has 3 different bolt patterns, so you can use it on a 904 or a 727 or a 727 with the big bolts. But on a 904, the smaller flex plate, yeah, right. What that guy was talking about with the Magnum thing, the smaller flex plate deal, the starter. Does anything I'm saying make sense? I think I had a stroke. I once had a starter that contacted in a setup like that I had to grind on to fix. I have had a war on one of the Mopar groups with a guy about this because he insisted that triple bolt hole flex plate will not work and it's the wrong thing and why did B&M sell him that and yada, yada, yada. And I explained, yes, it works. You may have a starter contact issue, which you can fix with a grinder. And he just told me I'm an idiot and I'm wrong. And he made videos and I think he actually called me a slur. Like it was just on and on and on and on. And it's like, dude, here's the car I did it on. I wish I had pictures of the project. I don't, but I did exactly what you're doing. It worked with the 904, but there was a starter contact problem. Wow. Jeff Militich's Fury 3 was hit while parked and totaled by a 73 Electra. Johnny Grassa, did you start your Detroit diesel today? No. I drove back from Ren Fair today. Dead diesel week. God, soon I hope. Driveway of Chris Fitz does not eat at Burger King, but he thinks it's cool they went back to the 70s logo. You know, we used to eat Burger King quite a bit. The quality left something to be desired. They were the cheapest fast food for a long time, though, until they fixed the menu hack on that one. This is the first time we've eaten there in quite some time, and it was remarkably good. And things were well put together. It didn't look like they'd assembled their burgers, from across the room. But anyway, we don't go there often. Cutter down, Chris. Getting a 6.0 this week with a utility body. Cross my fingers. Yes, you'd better cross your fingers. Thoughts on a Shelby Charger? Not for me, but pretty cool. D1 Menace, would you ever consider putting fuel injection in one of your builds? I've done it 3 times. I would probably not consider it again, except, unlike some people, I am beginning to think that a 3rd gen Hemi swap might be a good idea. Maybe, but we'll see. Timothy Holcomb, what's next for your tin grill? To work on it. No idea when that'll happen, but I do keep thinking about it. Russ Peter Sterling, someone gave my brother a Bridgeport. It gets used less than his wife's treadmill. Oof. The tin grill. I have a line of trucks that I need to work on for other people. Literally, there are 3 in a row next to the shop now where the TRX was. Excuse me. And then there's Tom's over here. And then there's mine. I don't think mine will be at the front of the line. KJ Keeley, what's up? Jamie, any experience with the riv nut type return line fitting for fuel tanks? No, I've never done that. In fact, I don't think I've ever heard of that. Sorry. Sam's dad went to bed. I'm not reading that. Oh, wow. Steven Andrews just got home, took the Lancer to her first official car show. Very cool. Rooster would rather have a video full of mistakes than some perfected AI POS. I mean, yeah, same. Robert Lee, if you don't buy a mill, buy a set of center drills. Yeah? Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen these. That's funny. It's kind of just like a step drill, but fancier. I'll keep that in mind. What's the smallest vehicle with a 24-valve electrical system, asks Lightbulb Fun. I know some Army Land Rovers had 24-valve electrical, 24-volt. Hello, anyone home? Electrical systems for radio support. Jeep M38A1 is 24 volt. I don't know if it's the smallest, but it's quite small. My mom's here. Hi, Mom. That was actually quite a while ago. Dean is here. What's up, Dean? David was here. Sorry, I actually don't know if I've read David's hello comment, but I'll see you later, David. Todd's hoping to take his Marlin to its first show on the 31st. Gary got 25 more followers off my Instagram post. Yeah, you're welcome. SC308 said, loved your video today. Thank you. Appreciate that. My dad had a 77 B200 Sportsman van with a 440 that he ordered new. Wish I would have appreciated it more looking back. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I wish I still had my dad's van, and it was just a Ford. Mike Fredericks. Hi, Jamie. How much lighter is a fully dressed 8 3/4 rear versus a fully dressed Dana 60? I don't even know. I don't know. I don't think the weight difference is all that much. The difference in power required to turn them might be more measurable than the weight difference. Whatever losses. I'm having a hard problem with words today. It's for a 447/27 Street B body. I mean, that would have come from the factory with an 8 3/4 unless the Dana was ordered. Shock loads are what kill an 8 3/4. You've got an automatic. I don't know what kind of build this is or what you're doing with it, but like the 8 3/4 is probably fine. My Hemi 4-speed build is getting a Dana. Pendejo Bread says, isn't there an 80-pound difference between the two rear ends? Can't be. 80 pounds? Really? That sounds crazy. But I don't know. Overbuild Automotive. DDG cussing you out over him being wrong. Classic prideful moron. Sad. Everyone. So I'm the prideful moron. Can we just get confirmation that that's what you mean? Overbuild Automotive, real fast. Can you just? I'm the prideful moron, right? Me, prideful and a moron. Someone let me know. Just for sure. I just want to make sure. I want to make sure that's what you mean and I'm not misreading this. What car did you take to the Ren Fair? Jeep Grand Cherokee. Without cider, your brain is lost. 100%. Oh, but what I was going to say is I got way too drunk on Friday. So I'm not drinking today. BK is horrible now. BK was pretty horrible the last few times I went there. Mopar stands for more power. I don't think that's what it stands for. Hydraulic clutch. Oh, Overbuild Automotive. Jamie, hydraulic clutch for the win. Have you converted one before? Yes. For the win, I don't know. The thing about doing that in a Mopar is that all the angles are stupid. Also, it's like a $700 kit to do that. And I'm not interested in spending $700 on something I don't want. Russ Speeders, my only suggestion for racing with the diaphragm clutch, install an adjustable clutch pedal stop so you don't overcenter it. That's a good idea, but I mean, the other thing you could do is just adjust the gap. Jamie, have you ever been to Woodinville, Washington? I drove by there today, but I don't know anything about it. All that ends swell. Some trucks use air-assisted clutches. Brownie talking about some wacky mechanical clutch setup. Yeah, lots of people asking about hydraulic clutch. So yeah, I have about 700 reasons last time I saw what those kits cost, why I don't use hydraulic kits. Also, my brother put one in the Fury, which I thought was dumb, but he did it. It hyperextended the slave cylinder twice. He replaced it once, which was hundreds, and then resealed it the second time, I think. Or maybe he resealed it twice, but he ended up with another one. I don't remember what happened, but one of them ended up in that van. My experiences with those hydraulic kits have been, it's okay, but I can't stress enough that the issue with this particular clutch is the spring pressure in the pressure plate. That's it. That is what's wrong. You need to do squats. Yeah. I need my knee to continue working. Jamie, are you ready for fall? Asks IH. No. Yeah. Russ Beaters. Engine power. We kept throwing sponsor money at it nonstop, but it still broke. That's funny. Oh, Rooster's out. Jeff Hutchins says they had plans for a 4.7 liter V8 Prowler. Yeah, if only the Hemi was in production at that time. The 4.7, when it runs. Yeah. David, we did set all kinds of things on fire removing Perky's head. Gary Hergert does not fit in a Prowler. That doesn't surprise me. Heistervid was a hoot. Thanks, Essie. Appreciate that. People liked it, but it didn't get many views because, of course, it didn't. Gary Hergert says, we grew up in Woodinville. Oh, hello, Brocklow. Yes, one of the big advantages to the 8 3/4 is that it takes nothing to swap the gears. Again, I'm just going to throw some big nasty ones in there. Pretty quick here. Drilling, tie rod holes out on hubs, rod ends, smoke 3 drill bouts, car reamers. Yeah. Okay. Neat. Uncle Tony. Tony! How much heavier is a Dana than an 8 3/4? Parasitic loss. That's the word I couldn't think of. Scales don't lie, and I haven't put either of those on a scale, so I just have no idea. I mean, a Dana's heavier. It's cast, big, gnarly. It's heavier. I don't know how much. No, Mom didn't get a membership. Words are hard. I've never been to Culver's. Dan Orcutt has liked the stream a second time. There are 2 Andreas in the chat. Old Iron, I've heard people say Dodge M8 80s are all 24 volt. I am 100% sure that's not true. It's not. Nope. There were just regular old 12 volt ones that have the same electrical system as the civilian trucks, basically. Like maybe exactly the same, actually. I haven't confirmed that, myself, wire for wire, but there you go. I do believe there were probably 24 volt ones, but yeah, I know for a fact that there were 12 volt ones. Yeah, 24 V equals 24 volt. Once a Cummins guy, always a Cummins guy. I caught myself. Well, that's a weird place to respond. Okay. I'm so confused. Okay. Oh. Oh. Thank you, Overbuilt. See, now I'm glad I held my tongue to wait for a response. I didn't see the one in here, but anyway. I thought you were calling me the prideful moron, so I thought I'd pump the brakes. People tell me I'm wrong when I'm actually right all the damn time. It's maddening. There's just this thing. It's mostly boomers. They just assume that they are right because, they're older or whatever. What does a valve job on an alternator cost? Something about spoon engines and danger to manifold and muffler bearings. Tavo has gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Tavo. Paul Cabazola is digging the Ram Charger content. Yeah, they're pretty sick. I have never eaten at a Chipotle, not once. All right. Russ Peters says it's like a 35-pound difference between the 2 axles. Again, I don't know. I have no idea. Martin Baumforth is out. SE says, I think the trunk 447 valve spring rotators. Yes, they do. Russ Peters says, the 47 in my 05 Durango worked flawlessly. It had 29,000 miles on it when I traded it in for the 2010 Challenger RT. Yeah, 29,000 trouble-free miles. That's not a very big number. Anyway. Nice. Yeah, Todd, I think I've seen something like that. A hand claw. I mean, there are bike engine swaps that use a shifter-mounted hydraulic clutch. Dan Tupper's asking when we're going to hold the official Dead Dodge Garage forklift drags. I don't know. It's Rich Jordan. How about a Pentastar 6 and a Prowler? I was just thinking about this. See, if they built the Prowler today, which they wouldn't, it would probably just have a Hemi. But if they built it in, say, I don't know, well, there was no time when the Pentastar existed and the Hemi didn't. But the Pentastar in place of the old 2.5 would be cool, interesting. It's a great engine, I think. I like it. But just put a Hemi in the damn thing. Plymouth on Plywood has opinions on dicks. Is the town made from wood? Woodenville, I assume. Whew. I don't know what Dean's talking about. Yes, Colin and my mother were in Seattle yesterday, and they got a bag of dicks and some milkshakes. I haven't been there in quite a while, but it's very good. Robert Lee says 8 3/4 can take a big shock load. It's tougher than you think. So I put a 392 in a red 1971 Dodge Challenger, 392 Hemi. That engine, out of the box, factory in the SRT Challenger that it came out of, made 485 horsepower, 480, somewhere in there. The gentleman asked, coming in hot. The owner, Austin, asked, do you think I should put a Dana 60 in this thing? Because I'm going to have it dyno tuned, and I'm pretty sure with this Holley system, it actually makes like 500 horsepower because there are no cats and, it's, whatever. And we're probably going to make even more than that after a dyno session. Excuse me. Do you think I need a Dana 60? And I said, it's just a street car, right? I mean, yeah, you got a 6-speed and you've got 500 horsepower, but the 8 3/4 is pretty strong. I think it's stronger than you think it is. I think the 8 3/4 will be just fine. If you're going to drag race it with slicks, maybe a different story, but on the street, your 8 3/4 will be fine. So we got it back and he drove it once, or maybe he drove it a couple times. I think he used it for one trip. Took it to the dyno. Blew up the 8 3/4 on the dyno immediately. Didn't even get a number. Immediately exploded it into little bitty pieces. I don't actually know what the specific failure was, but the 8 3/4 lasted exactly no. So, I don't remember what center chunk that was. I wasn't there. I didn't do it. I don't know what the failure was, but I do know the damn thing got strapped to a dyno, and that was the end of the 8 3/4. So, yeah, your mileage may vary. I love the 8 3/4. I have 8 3/4 in everything. My A-body race car that does wheelies has an 8 3/4, but it also has a 273 small block and it weighs, less than 3,000 pounds. The Demon always raced an 8 3/4. People told me, oh, you need a Dana 60 for that car. No, you're wrong. But if we're talking big horsepower and a stick shift and a B-body, there's a reason Chrysler put Danas in them. So, yeah, just things to think about. Okay, Scott DeForge and Dean Stevenson have said 30 to 50 pounds. So, it's somewhere in there. Words are hard. Pendejo bread, the Chevelle that looks like a Charger. I know which one that is. How far back in the live are you? I know what year's Chevelle it is I'm talking about. Also GTOs. I didn't restore one, but we did all the metal work on a GTO once. 1966 GTO? Or was it a 67? Crap. I don't know, but they both have the set in window. It's the same body style. I know. Drifter, is there a Pizza Hut by you? No, there was. It closed. Propane and propane accessories. Apparently, if equipped with a 24-volt generator, the M880 Dodge would become an M881 or 82. Interesting. Why is everyone asking about Pizza Hut? Yes. Robert O'Shea, if you slap a 6.4 Gen 3 Hemi in your 38 Dodge, you should strongly consider a Dana 60. Why are we talking about Pizza Hut? Nobody out-pizzas the Hut. Many Hemi swaps on YouTube for the Prowler. Yes, it's the right thing to do. Scoop, there are so many cats. Overbuilt knows all about boomers. It can be a bit crazy. Yeah, I've heard from many of them. Oh, that's sick. Just but I thought I would put up a picture of dicks. That is so ridiculous. Yeah, I mentioned Brownie's clutch linkage saying, yeah, I knew the Jeeps were weird, but that is just, it's really weird. Studebaker clutch linkage is also pretty weird. Drifter BTW's dad thinks the 4.7 is the best engine ever made. He's wrong. For that brief period when they work, it's a pretty fun engine. My brother had a Dakota, 4.7 Dakota. It was on borrowed time. It was always on borrowed time. I put an engine in it after he killed it by running it out of oil. And then I ripped that thing around for a while, and it was really fun. Sideways everywhere. Two-wheel drive Dakota with a 4.7. It was everything an RT is, but not an RT, with a 4.7. Very fun truck. Nice sounding engine, nice running engine. But every one of them is on borrowed time, even more so than like an early third-gen Hemi with the heads that fall apart. It's just bad. It's just so bad. Dean quoting Eminem, I believe. They don't even know the name of my band. Russ Peter says, Dodge M80 we had where I was stationed were all 12 volts, had a dual battery set up to provide 24 volts for specific equipment. Light bulb fun. Out of curiosity, why is the Dana 44 coming out of the Mexican Dart? I don't know anything about differentials. I'm just curious why it needs replacing. Okay, 3 reasons. 1, we didn't know it was a Dana 44 when we bought an 8 3/4 for the car. 2, it has been messed with. The pinion is super loose and knocky and falling out. The differential is on borrowed time. 3, 8 3/4 has an easily replaceable gear section. We can put whatever gears in it we want. We're not stuck with what's in the Dana 44. It's just not worth the trouble. It's a fine differential. Like for that car, for what it will do, unless Mark decides to go racing, the Dana would have been fine in terms of strength. The supercharged Studebaker has one. It's fine. But yeah, that is why. D1 Menace's 09 Ram has a 4.7, never had a problem. I truly hope that continues for you. Danny Boyd. I thought I knew everything when I was a teenager. It wasn't until I got older that I realized I was mostly right. I didn't know dick all when I was a teenager, but I don't know what to say. I know a lot. I do not know everything. I know who to ask. My strength has always been an ability to learn and knowing where my knowledge ends and how to fix it. I've always been sort of a collaborative type. When I ran a business, I didn't, necessarily, I was kind of a dick, but I didn't necessarily rule as a king who's like, whatever I say is right, you're wrong, and screw off and do it my way. It was always, how can we do this? How are we going to do this? What is the best way to do this? What is the best answer to this question? And who has the right answer, the right information? I don't care where it comes from. I just want the right information, the best information. I know a lot. I can help you with a lot of things, but I do not know everything. No one does. If they act like they do, they're wrong. They are incorrect and conceited. At times, it is true that I can act in an egotistical way and assert that I am correct. And at times I have been wrong, and that's okay. But, nobody's nerfed. Kyle Ennis. Jamie, would you be interested in buying a Poly 318 with a rebuilt transmission? No. Someone asked if my Poly 318 could be done already. Actually, several people have asked about the Poly. Oh, yeah, everything's easy on the internet from your chair. So true, Shirley Willie. But here's one of several Poly questions from Michael Depew. Maybe you covered this already. Looking for the finish of the Poly build. It is now a long block. It just needs push rods finished, all the valves adjusted, pre-lubricated, painted, and then it is going in a truck. But the truck that it's going in is being built out of 2 trucks. So I don't know when we're actually going to hear it run. refuse to believe AI. I've found Dean Stevenson. I've found nice Mopar guys to ask my nice Mopar questions. Wow. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Overbuilt had a 3.7 Jeep Commander. 339,000 miles. That's impressive. Used water for 2 years. Yep, 3747. Timing tensioner broke. Clicked on startup. Dumped all the coolant in the oil. Slater's here. I'm 68 and still learning. Learn a lot from this young man, Jamie. Happy to do it. Thank you. You sent me something cool on Fabo today that I'd never seen. Yes, hot shoe. Being wrong is how we learn. Exactly. Wait, what? I was wrong 7 minutes ago when I said the Prowler came with the 2.5. 3.5. I didn't say 2.5. 3.5. Don't make me destroy you. Wait, is it the 3? No, it's the 3.5, right? Don't tell me it's the 3.2. That's the other one. Yeah, it's the 3.5. I didn't say 2.5. Or I did. I said I had a stroke. Robobert, 543 valve. Their Achilles heel is at least repairable. Is it? Like, is it? Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure the new phasers are pretty much just like the old phasers. Steven Anderson, get a 4.7 hot and it's cooked. Yes, and they leak coolant all the time, and so getting hot is just what they do. It's their favorite thing. 4.7 or 5.43 valve. Yeah. That's a nightmare blunt rotation if I've ever heard one. D1 Menace's 09 Ram came with a lifetime powertrain warranty. Lifetime? There's a reason, and that's all I can say. Yes, Dana 44 has carrier brakes. You cannot fit any gear easily. That is very true. We put the most aggressive gear we could into Vivienne's Dana 44, which was a 3.7, I believe. I think that's right before the carrier split. Or maybe I'm thinking of a different build, but I think it was that one. I think that's the only Dana I've ever built. Yeah. Scoops 4.7 Dakota kicked butt. I'm telling you, Old Iron has never heard a nice thing about 4.7s. I just said a nice thing about 4.7s. They run great and they sound awesome and they're really fun right up until they start dumping coolant into the number 1 and the number 3 hole, and then they fill with rust pits, you know, and the heads warp and the timing chains start making noise because the nylon falls off the tensioner guide thing. And I could go on. The cam sensor leaks oil. The valve covers leak oil. They're stupid. Anyway. Stretched nosed Prowler, put a turbo slant 6 in it. No. Andrea Mills is hungry because of all this pizza talk. Little sleazers. That's funny. Cheap tires that don't hook up are cheaper than a rear end. Yes. They have Pizza Hut in New Zealand? What? Rapid Transit is here. How's it going? No Name is right around the corner. Can't wait. Yes, I just got the last pieces I need for my Barracuda. It's going to be good. Finish the poly build, please. Okay, it was the same guy. Yes, it is coming up, Michael. It will happen at some point. But as mentioned earlier, I have a line of trucks I got to finish for other people. I'm trying to focus. I'm going to tell you something now. Mark's Dart drives It drives. Everything that needed done, it still has the Dana, but everything that needed done to get it driving, and not only just driving, but I like finished stuff. The tack is wired, the ignition stuff is all done, and it's nice. The cooling system, the accessories. I built an entire power steering setup, all of it. I pieced it all together. Restored brackets, found pulleys, everything. The hood tack works. All the gauges are fixed. All the lights are fixed. Everything. I just need to swap the diff and get some more miles on it. I didn't film any of that because I'm at a point where I just need to get these stupid projects done and out. That is currently my focus. I'm like, I am filming things, but I'm really trying to just get jobs done because there are too many here. I'm tired of hearing from people about them. I'm tired of having them. I never, and I will, but I never want to work on anything for anyone else ever again. I'm trying to get all these jobs done. So, hopefully I'll get through some of them and then I can get back to focusing on my own projects. Yes, I showed the mic for the CB radio and Gary's Ram Charger that says Chrysler on it. It's pretty cool. Australian Ford Fairlane hearse. Nice. Slater says, I wish I could get the 65 Valiant from you. Well, I have a 63 Valiant. The Grudge Job Dart. I'm obviously going to do a video when that project is finished, but I just realized, I need to get this done. And I've already done all of this on video. Every bit of what I'm doing, maybe with the exception of wiring a hood tack, I've done on video. So there's no reason to film it. So there you go. Yes, the 63, it's very available. I will ship it to you. There's another guy in these comments who has talked about buying it, but yeah. E-Monk, just watched your Ram Charger video. Great show. Why keep that carb? Because the Hergerts told me to. Because it's the original carb. And that is a collector grade truck. So it just makes the most sense to keep it stock. Tom's Trail Duster, not a collector grade truck. Sorry, Tom. That one got an Edelbrock. Steve Anderson wants to see more on the 72 step side. You and me both, bud. That's what I'm saying. I wanted to drive that damn truck last winter. I sure better be driving it this winter. Scoop wants me to build him a 360. No, sorry. I won't do it. I'm done. Gary's trying to keep the Ram Charger emissions intact in case it ever has to go back to California. We won't talk about the bull vent thing. Easily fixed, I suppose. Jeff Hutchins' buddy has an 089 Ram with a lifetime warranty as well. He's never selling it. I did not know they offered such a thing. It's crazy. Mope Man 440 is late, but here he is. Yes, Pendejo bread. B-body is much more car than A-body. Not only bigger, built much better. 70 and back, anyway. That has been my experience, too. They just feel better. A B-body just drives nice. Unless things are destroyed, and that happens. But A-bodies are always a little bit more on the rickety, rattly, clunky side. But they're fun. They don't drive bad, but a B-body drives better. It's the size, it's the wheelbase, the width, the weight, all of it. And we certainly couldn't say, I did say 2.5? Oh, shit. Well, I meant 3.5. I told you I had a stroke. Jesus. That's funny. Check the tape. I'm glad 5 different people went back to verify. 3.5 V6. Dan Orcutt undermeant what I stood. What were we talking about? B-bodies? It's not to say that they were the best built either, because they weren't. Both are great until they aren't. I guess the 3 valves, yeah. I don't know if it's ever great. The 2-valve 5.4, that is a great engine. You will not hear any slander from me. The 2-valve 5.4, other than shooting spark plugs out, and I mean, you will eventually have problems with the big gigantic valve guides, timing chain guides. Sorry, I was thinking really hard about how I said the wrong engine. 2-valve 5.4s are good. I have seen multiple at 300,000 miles. I've owned 2. Briefly. Very briefly. Oh, God. Next time I try to tell someone how many Fords I've owned, increase the number by 2. Anyway. I know a little bit about a lot of things. Yeah, I'm one of them jacks of all trades. I've done a lot of stuff, and I'm kind of good at some stuff, but I've never been like the greatest at anything, and I never will be. Ford. Yeah. 2-valve 5.4s are good. Just every time you fill it up with gas, you change 2 coils. And put in 1 spark plug insert. Oh, come on. Burger King. You can make that joke about Taco Bell, but Burger King? Jaybird's late, but here. How's it going? Like, gag me with a spoon. 2 valves are good. Add a bit of boost. They're okay. Kyle NS. Poly 318 I'm trying to sell. Last run maybe in March. Got a 3-to-3 swap. Figured you could get it as is or run it. And a spare transmission. I already have a spare poly. I don't want the one I have. In fact, I now have 2 spare polys. I like the poly, don't get me wrong. But here's the thing you need to know about me. I have like 25 small blocks. I don't want anything else. I want nothing. Nothing. I don't. Thank you. I don't want another poly. I don't want another anything. I am buying a 1970 Charger. That's different. I don't need any more engines. I have so many engines. And if I want to build a poly, which I have a vision of building a performance poly someday, but I don't have anything to put it in. So why? Why? There's no point. If I find something that needs a speedy poly, I will build a speedy poly. And when I go to do that, I already have 2 extra cores. So I am good. They offered the lifetime warranty when they thought Chrysler was going to go out of business to pump up them sales numbers, I guess. Nice. Gary Hergert likes 71 340 Dusters. Is that where we're going now? I kind of like them too. Lightbulb fun. What's the highest mileage Mopar you've ever driven? I had a 318,000 mile Cummins first gen. I've driven a 550,000 mile 2005 Cummins. But if you mean classic Mopar, I don't know because they have a 5-digit speedometer. I just don't know. Is Rocket going to frame off restore that Ram Charger? No, God no. It's a Survivor in original paint. Never. Only an idiot would try and paint that truck. It's got the one little spot of baked paint and then the arm wear on the door. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen. No. It's not getting restored. It's just getting the details it needs to drive cleaned up, It needs new carpet, little stuff like that. But no, it's not getting like a real restoration. Never. Todd Denio, isn't it Ford that uses cracked connecting rods? Lots of engines today use that. Okay. Oh, yeah. California truck. It does, in fact, have a catalytic converter. Yeah, someone asked in a comment. There you go. Jeff Hutchins, do you want a free 12-valve? Yes. I don't have any of those. Yes, later. Yeah, someone posted on Fabo. Oh, that's how you noticed I was on there. Someone posted on Fabo looking for a 360 block to build into a 408 in Washington, and I responded and said, I have at least 3 in Grays Harbor. Old Iron says you should do a members video fleet update, but with engines. That's a good idea. I should do that. The state of the engines. 25 small blocks. What's the big block count? Way less than 25, but I got a few. Tavo wants any spare small blocks. I have a lot. It might not be 25. Alan, how many are in your shed? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. It was 9, but I just took one to the machine shop. We'll still call that 9. There's another one at the machine shop. So there's 10 on that side of the shop or at the machine shop. It's 10. Okay, then over here we got 318. 318. Does a poly count? I mean, I was thinking LA engines, so I don't think I want to count the polys. I don't know. Oh, I counted wrong. There's another 360 over there. I can count at least, if we're counting polys, there are at least 15 in the shop right now. And that's just engines. We could count ones that are also, we could also count ones that I've put in cars, but then that's a much larger number. And I know there are a few at Allen. So Tom Crew and the van block. That's it? Okay. Oh, because we took, oh God, there's another 318. It might not be 25 that are not in cars. I think it might only be 20. That's pretty good. Big blocks is way, way fewer. I actually only have a few big blocks that are not in cars. Yes, I have some 360s. Engine wall is needed for organizing the engines. Yes, that's the plan. That is the plan. Yeah, I don't have any 340s available. Yes, Crapple's 318. Yes. Jeff Hutchins has like 6 small block Mopars sitting around. Nice. They're rookie numbers, but nice. Moon Unit Zappa? Yeah. You seen that interview with her and Frank? It's pretty good. She's funny. Alan has driven so many miles on 542 valves, never blown a plug. Only 2 very easy to change low-cost coils. I love them. I'm telling you, the 542 valve is good. And the 4.6, similar. But I've never seen not that they're not out there. I've never seen a 4.6 with 300,000 miles, but a 542 valve, multiple. That's funny. One Datsun lover. You have too many Mopar parts? You don't have too many 77 tin grill glove box latches, do you? No, I need 2 more than I have. The last one that I had that was good, I gave to... Did I give that to you, Alan? For, the one we sold? Butters? Or did that go in something else? I don't know, but I need one for the green truck. Rob Fitch, do you have a 4-barrel intake and carb? Okay, here's the problem with 4-barrel intakes is that they're not cheap anymore. They're all worth like a couple $100 and up, which sucks. The pile, I've been planning to list some small block aluminum intakes for sale because the pile of them that I have is just, there are at least 10 in that pile. It's too many. Too many. Too many. Jeff Baldwin. Jamie, any tips for changing the freeze plug in the back of a 383 head while in the car? I've done this. How did I do this? Maybe I tried to... Wow, the sky has turned blue. That's weird. Okay, so, I mean, you need a way to press it in there, and probably different ways to do that. I could see using a nut and bolt of appropriate length The no, won't have enough. It would have to be like a lug nut and a bolt or something. Putting the bolt against the firewall, screwing it in, putting it against the firewall, and then screwing the nut out. Just puts pressure on it that way. That's a thought. And there's really no way to get in there and tap on anything. I swear I've done this. I can't remember what I did. People refuse to build 3.9s. It's ridiculous. You're right. 3.9s are ridiculous. Robobert will not stand for 4.6 modular slander. I've seen multiple 4.6s killed by timing chain issues in cars at like 105,000 miles. Multiple. And I've never seen one with 300,000 like I have an all original 542 valve. So that's all I'm saying. That has been my experience. Craig Stevenson says pull the head. Yes, probably the right way to do it. Barry Kuda says cut a hole in the firewall. I was thinking it, but I wasn't going to say it. IH, what's the count on automatic and manual transmissions? I don't have many automatics sitting around. Don't make me count. I have like 10 4-speeds, maybe 12. Snowmonk is Omega late. How's it going? Last weekend, there were 5 Mopar big blocks in my little one-stall garage. 2 361s, 2 383s, and a 440 plus 3 transmissions. Nice. Oh, yeah, and Robobert, the 4.6 in my Crown Vic was great until the intake manifold cracked and spilled coolant everywhere. Do you have any idea how many of those I've replaced? It's like 10. Michael Depew, have you fiddled with any performance mods for 3.9? No, I haven't. And I probably won't. Excuse me. I mean, someday I will run out of things to do with LA engines and big block engines and Magnum engines and Cummins engines and Detroits and Perkins. And at that point, I'll build a Pentastar with a supercharger. And after that, and third gen Hemis, don't forget third gen Hemis, Hellcat truck. Someday I will get through all of the Mopars that I actually care about. And then we'll do a 3.9 build. We'll do a Turbo 2.2. We'll do an SRT4. And then we'll do, obviously we're going to do a V10 at some point. It's I will die someday, okay? And there are a lot of things I actually want in this life that I want to own, that I want to build, that I want to work on. And 3.9 V6s are not on that list. So there you go. Tavo says a complete 273 would make me as happy as a 265 would make Jamie. I have 3. I don't know what it would cost to ship a 273 and a 265 across the world, but like maybe we should just look into that. Corn dogs. GM Atlas 6. Is that the... Oh, the 40... Yeah. The inline. And obviously we're going to do a Hemi 6. I actually want to do that. No 3.3 build. The 3.9... I'm not saying... No, it's not a no. Exactly. It's not a no. The thing that the 3.9 has going for it is people are interested in it. And I understand that. I appreciate that. I'm not interested in it because the 318 exists and bolts to the same transmission. But, I could see doing a 3.9, but like that's a long, long time from now. I would be more excited about them if you could easily mount one in an A body. So you're saying there's a chance. The US Barra 6. I think they do kind of, sort of, maybe almost resemble one of those. I've only ever... Trailblazers suck. Those things kill coils more often than Fords. They have this weird crank sensor problem where it still runs fine, but not fine, but good, but it's not a problem, but it's also not good at all, and it has a code, but there's nothing wrong with it, but it's bad. Every one of those damn Trailblazer 4.2 things needs 3 coils, a crank sensor, and a VVT solenoid or whatever. David Thompson, Jamie, do you miss Brady Dog? I don't know who would ask me that. Your voice sounds different tonight. Yeah, I'm burning it out. Devo was right. About her being the girl you want? Just a girl, the girl you want. No word on the weird 355 cylinder. I knew you were him. I knew that only one person on earth would ask if I missed Brady Dog, and it was Brady Dog. The weird 5-cylinder. I was going to mention that because, they made that engine family in a 4, 5, and a 6. And I have actually worked on all 3 of them. They're just as weird, but smaller. Jimmy doesn't actually need a 265 Hemi, does he? Wouldn't a 245 do? I don't care which one. But it's got to have a whole engine's worth of usable pieces because kind of hard to come up with that stuff here. Hot Shoe has given up on ever having a Viper GTS. I have not given up on it because I own a TRX. And when that thing's all done, if I sold it and a couple other things, I think I could have a GTS. There is a red one that I was super excited about. I was even almost to the point of wanting to sell my 68 Charger, which I didn't do. And I'm glad I didn't. But I thought about it because I would like to have a Viper and it would have to be a GTS. It would have to be the late first generation GTS Viper. That is the one. How about a 413? Yeah. It's just a 440 with a small bore. Slater says V10 on an engine stand would make me very happy. Me too. I just don't know what to do with it after that. I have tried to buy multiple Viper V10s. Maybe by that time there will be a 4th gen Hemi. I have wondered if they're going to develop that engine family further. I think they should. How many 3-speed manuals do I have? That many. Unless you're in it to impress yourself. Oh. Jeff Hutchins has a 12 volt. Now I'm doing it backwards the other way. 12 valve, 2 440s, 454, 2 460s, a Dodge V10, a GM 383, 3 IDI Fords, all sitting in my engine container. Wow. And now for something completely different. That's funny. Snowmonk built a Lego V10, so I got that going for me. Somewhere McLovin asked, what is on the agenda for this week? So here's the thing. I don't know. CTRE says, I think I'd take a Viper over a Charger. Here's the thing. The Charger, I can use and enjoy with my family. The Viper, I cannot. And that is why I got rid of my Cobra replica and got a Charger. Among other reasons, I also really like Chargers. The Charger is beautiful. It's fast enough to be fun. Did I mention it's beautiful? And it is a car that works as a car. Road trips, cruises to get ice cream, The Viper will never be that. I can't put kids in the back seat. There is no back seat. It is almost completely useless to me. I still want it. But the Charger it's just better. David Thompson, all the funny clips you don't use for an end of year special. I don't have any funny clips I don't use. All the funny clips go in the show. I did used to do videos called mixtapes. I think I did 2 or 3 of them. And it was an accumulation of clips that I didn't use or funny clips from other videos, just kind of all wrapped into one. Somebody actually commented on one of those today and was like, oh, how'd I miss this? This was great. And I don't remember it being great, but anyway, yeah. What's on the agenda this week? So I don't know. I have 5 videos in progress right now and several more to start on. I may have a Ram Charger engine removal video for Wednesday. I think that would make a lot of sense. I also still have a 318 to tear down. That needs to happen. At least partially. I don't know that I'm fully tearing it down, but we're at least going to inspect it and make sure it's worth using. So that's on the agenda. The Ram Charger, we're going to remove that engine. We're going to finish the other engine. We're going to put it back in. There is no way I have time to do that entire operation between now and Wednesday, though. Because there's too much crap going on. I have several other videos that are like cooking right now. I have a cab over video that's not going to do good. Excuse me. I have started the next TRX video, but it's not ready and it's not an engine video. So I don't know what's for Wednesday. I have no idea. It might be the Barracuda video, which would be unfortunate. I'd rather hold on to that and get more stuff done. So it may be one of those two things I said for Wednesday, and then Sunday Barracuda video, or something else. I truly don't know. Oh, Hot Shoe 57 needs to run at some point. Yes, I got the part for that. So that is on my short list of cars that are going to get pushed into the main bay and then just have like a couple days spent on them. The Blue Dart is on the lift right now. I haven't started on it at all and will not be able to start on it. Oh, I have another video filmed and finished actually, but it's probably going to be like another one of them extra Friday things. Ram Charger week. Yeah, it's coming. CTRE, what happened to the 280ZX? Sold. Bye-bye. Gone. Fun car. Well, I assume it would have been if it was ever finished, but that wasn't going to happen here. Brian Peterson says, your Dodge videos keep me working on my projects down here in Salem. Awesome. Cab over sounds good. No, not in the video. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound at all. But it could happen. Lightbulb Fun wants to see a Beetle video. I'm probably not going to do that. Is everyone still bothering you about the banana? Yes. But yes, it's a big build. That engine is going to come out and it's going to go in Allen's Satellite. And the 318 in Allen's Satellite is going to come out and it's going to go in the Brown Dart. So there's another video that I've started and haven't finished. The list just goes on and on and on and on. So as usual, I don't know what the hell's going to happen, but something will happen. What song by Nick Cave? Oh, Dig Lazarus Dig. Wasn't that the album name? My favorite Nick Cave album is Murder Ballads. It's a great one. We got that on vinyl. And now for something completely different. Sell the kids, get the Viper. IDI Ford was designed as a military engine. Was it though? International 6.9 history. March of 1978, International Harvester Corporation began development of an engine that would eventually change the way pickup trucks and light-duty vehicles would be powered. This doesn't say anything about that. Successful design. Sure sounds like it was built as a pickup engine for Ford. But I don't actually know anything. CTRE 97 wants to know, what are your thoughts on the Hurricane 6? Thought it would make for a cool car if it was in something smaller than the new Charger. Everyone hates how the Hurricane 6 and then it sounds, and that includes me, except when it's bouncing off the rev limiter. Bounce it off the rev limiter. It sounds amazing. It's the best. I can't recommend it enough. I hate it the rest of the time. But in like a normal economy car with exhaust that's just silent so you can't hear how importy it is, I think it's fine. I just don't know. I would never expect that engine to have the sort of longevity we have come to expect from, 250,000 mile Magnum engines and 300,000 mile 2-valve Ford Tritons, and it's probably not going to do that. They're interesting. I don't really want one. There are people doing cool stuff with them, but I don't know that I ever will. Brother owns a demon red eye. You'd take it over the Viper, trust me. I mean, that's not even the same sport. I'm not even wearing pants. Viper's main use is to send its driver sideways into a pole. Sup? Mark is glad I still have my charger. Wouldn't be whole without it. Well, shoo. Any updates on the book? Yeah, I'm almost halfway done. Raymond said, hope everything's going good, namely your book. Yes, I'm almost halfway done. Lots left to do, though. Lots left to do. Jeff Hutchins has never seen an IDI in a military vehicle. It was for Ford pickups. That is my understanding. Bass guitar. Got a few. Hurricane 6 must sound better than the faux exhaust sounds in the EV. Yes, and it sounds really good when you bounce it off the limiter, especially if you're driving a brand new vehicle that you just borrowed off the dealer lot. Twice. Slater's munching on an avocado. Wow. Beetle. No. COE Cummins. Nope, not happening. Not going to do it. Benjamin Raymond says your videos have helped me become a lot more confident with wiring. Just got done rewiring all of my dad's 69 Newport. Nice. Can I pre-order the book? Would love to support you. I appreciate the attempt at support. No, there's no pre-order for the book. Many people have asked. I do appreciate that, but I am working with a publisher called Cartech Books. Very well-known publisher of automotive things like this. Passon's book, Small Block Mopar book, Big Block Mopar book, lots and lots of Cartech books. I have used their books for years, which is why when they approached me about writing a book, I was like, yes. But anyway, it's up to them how it is sold and marketed and all of that. They just hopefully send me money. That's it. David Thompson, did someone buy your brother's beautiful 64-letter car? I don't know who you mean. Stacy made it, but slightly late. No, I haven't played a song on here in a long time. And now the penguin on your television will explode. I hear you're halfway done with your book. No, it's like 46.5%. Cold Duster Dan wants to know what my thoughts are on swapping a Beamer 6 into a slant car. I prefer it the other way around. There was a Lemons racing team that put a slant 6 in a BMW. That was beautiful. Dan Tupper has 21 Mopar engines. Nice. That's not rookie numbers. Isn't a Demon a Charger with a big engine? Well, no, it's a Challenger with a Hellcat, but the special super high performance Hellcat, whatever. Why don't they give us a 5.2 Hemi? It's rumored that they're going to. It sounds like nonsense to me, but I guess we'll see. The DB Garage. When will we see a video on your other B body you have pushed outside? Do you mean my 70 Cornet? I don't know. Sometime. I got to finish the Hemi. I actually have all the parts to do that now. Everything is here. I think I'm going to leave. Lead Penguin. Oh, yeah, hopefully the book has a section on 6-valve conversion. 6-volt. Why do I keep reading that wrong? 6-volt conversion. No. But it is going to have a section on building your own wiring harness from scratch. Oh, the Mothman. My mom says we need more music. I'm over it. I haven't seen Tom's video today yet. Don't spoil the ending for me. Now go away, or I shall taunt you a second time. Floyd's Garage says it is more lucrative to cater to more wealthy enthusiasts. Is it? I don't know if that's true. Because I don't want to work on cars. I want to make videos. And you know who watches videos? Normal people, not wealthy people. Normal, everyday, blue-collar people like me watch videos. And it has been proven time and time and time again that the interest does not lie in high dollar expensive crap. It lies in cheap, fun performance things. So yeah, I'm not sure I agree with that, but I guess it depends on what we're talking about. I'm going to leave. I've already eaten, but I'm tired of talking. There will be a book. Chic Ya Booty. Isn't that a Zappa? Is that an album or a song? I don't remember. Taser him with the Zappa. Larger size Hemi. What are we talking about? I don't even know anymore. I'm going to leave. Thanks for being here. Yes, Gary has very good taste. I will make some videos, and then I hope you will watch the videos and maybe even enjoy the videos. Until then, ciao, hasta la vista, hasta luego, auf Wiedersehen, or however you say that. Thanks for the super chats, the member gifts, and for hanging out. I'll see you in the comments, and I'll see you next Sunday. Is the next video going to be back at the shop? I don't know. Probably. Tavo's out. Bye.